Alright, we're diving deep into the career of Chris Paul, the point god himself. You know him, you love him, and you probably know he just broke the NBA's all-time assist record. But get this. He's about to make history again. CP3 is on pace to become the only player in NBA history to be top 2 in both assists and steals. We're talking rarefied air here. First, let's put this assist record in perspective. Passing Jason Kidd to snag that number 2 spot is huge EE. Now, John Stockton's record at number 1, well, that's gonna take a miracle. But the steals record, he's only 36 steals away from passing Kidd there too. At his current pace, we could see him hit that milestone by spring 2025. Imagine that, Kidd dropping to 3rd in both assists and steals. Ouch. But here's where it gets really interesting. Those 12,099 assists haven't just been empty stats. They've directly led to a staggering 27,938 points scored. Think about that. He's basically assisted an entire Carmelo Anthony's worth of points. It's mind-boggling. And it's not just about racking up numbers. Chris Paul has this uncanny ability to elevate his teammates' games. We're talking career-changing transformations here. Remember David West? Before CP3, mostly a bench guy. After, a consistent starter earned the nickname 17-foot assassin because Paul knew how to get him the ball in the sweet spot. And the list goes on. Tyson Chandler's stats went through the roof playing with Paul. Even got an All-NBA first-team selection. Who saw that coming? DeAndre Jordan became an All-Star. Ayton reached the NBA Finals. All with Paul's guidance. This season alone, he's assisted on 52 of Victor Wembanyama's baskets, which is 5th most in the league. And get this, 27 of those were for threes. That's almost half of Wembanyama's total three-pointers this season. CP3 is a master at finding his teammates' strengths and maximizing their potential. But what makes Paul truly special is his ability to adapt. Back in 2005, the league was a different beast. Three-pointers weren't the name of the game. Most of his assists were for two-pointers, especially mid-range shots. But fast forward to today, and the majority of his assists are for threes. He's seamlessly transitioned his game to thrive in the modern NBA, a testament to his basketball IQ and willingness to evolve. Now let's take a trip down memory lane to CP3's prime. Remember the 2007-08 season? He almost snagged that MVP award. That season, he just got 925 assists, leading to a whopping 2,123 points scored. In this century, only James Harden in 2017 generated more points from assists. That's how dominant Paul was. Let's break down those 2007-08 assists. 352 went to shots at the basket, with 144 of those went to Tyson Chandler alone. Talk about a dynamic duo. 273 assists were for three-pointers. And here's a stat that really highlights his genius. He led the entire league with 103 assists for corner threes. Now we think, okay, so we got a lot of assists. What's so special about corner threes? Well, here's why that stat matters. It demonstrates a player's ability to completely dissect defenses, see the whole court like a chessboard, and make laser-focused passes under pressure. Those corner three assists, they were daggers to the heart of opposing teams, and CP3 was the best in the business at delivering them. He even followed that up by being second in the league in corner three assists in 2008-09. Only behind LeBron James, who was on his own MVP tear that year. That's how good CP3 was in his prime. But then came the knee injury in 2009. Sadly, he never quite hit those assist numbers again. However, and here's where his true brilliance shines through, he adapted. He didn't let that injury decline him. He reinvented himself. He became even more reliant on his incredible court vision. Years of experience and impeccable timing to create those game-changing plays. He perfected the slow motion, behind-the-back fake pass and dribble move, a move you now see players like James Harden, Luka Doncic, and Kawhi Leonard using to devastating effect. And then there's his signature move, the snake dribble. It's where he uses a screen to essentially trap the defender behind him, creating those deadly two-on-one situations. Think of it like this. Imagine a snake slithering around a rock. That's how CP3 uses the screen to get that separation. Genius, right? It's become a staple of his game, a testament to his creativity and ability to exploit even the tiniest of openings. Chris Paul's basketball IQ is off the charts. He once told Sports Illustrated, if you're driving home, there's only so many ways you can go. The court is the same way. He sees the game several steps ahead, anticipating where defenders will be and exploiting those weaknesses with surgical precision is truly remarkable. Now, some might say his scoring isn't what it used to be, and sure, he's not dropping 20 points every night like he did in his younger days, but honestly, that misses the point entirely. This guy is still a maestro when it comes to playmaking. This season, he's got over 200 assists with only 43 turnovers. That kind of efficiency is unheard of. His mid-range game is still deadly accurate, shooting 72% from 10-16 feet, and get this, he hasn't missed a single free throw this season. Talk about ice in his veins. And the assist that broke the all-time record and went to Victor Wembanyama, a player born in 2004. The same year Chris Paul started his career in New Orleans. Talk about a full circle moment. It gives me chills just thinking about it. Chris Paul's career is a testament to adaptation, evolution, and the power of elevating those around you. But the story's not over yet. What does this point god have in store for us next? Stay tuned. It's fascinating how CP3 has managed to not just stay relevant, but dominate. In a league that's constantly evolving, it's not just about adapting to the three-point era, it's about refining his game, understanding his strengths, and maximizing his impact, even though he's not that explosive young kid anymore. Yeah, this actually brings up some interesting points about player development and longevity in the NBA. We always hear about players hitting their prime in their late 20s. But Chris Paul's career tells a different story. It's a story about constant learning, adapting, and finding new ways to contribute, even as your physical abilities change. Think about it. CP3 might not be blowing by defenders like he used to, but his mastery of the game has reached a whole new level. He's like a chess player out there, dictating the pace, manipulating defenses, and creating opportunities for his teammates with a level of precision and intelligence that's just mind-blowing. It's almost like he's unlocked a new dimension of basketball, one that transcends pure athleticism and relies on an almost telepathic understanding of the game. And you know what? I think there's a lesson there for all of us. Not just basketball players. It's a reminder that true mastery comes from continuous learning, from pushing beyond our comfort zones, and from finding new ways to excel, even when we face new challenges. And who knows, maybe CP3's got another chapter left to write in his incredible story. Maybe that championship ring is still within reach. Speaking of chapters, there's one aspect of his career that deserves a closer look. It's something that really highlights his impact on the game and his ability to elevate those around him. We talked about how he's transformed the careers of players like David West, Tyson Chandler, and DeAndre Jordan. But it's more than just individual stats. It's about instilling a winning mentality, fostering a culture of excellence, and empowering his teammates to reach their full potential. Take Tyson Chandler. Before teaming up with CP3, he was talented but inconsistent. But with Paul's guidance, he became an anchor on defense, a vocal leader, and a key piece in building a winning team. And it's not just about on-court leadership, it's about his attention to detail, his insane work ethic, and his unwavering commitment to excellence. Those qualities rub off on his teammates, inspiring them to push harder and strive for greatness. This brings us to another fascinating aspect of CP3's game, his ability to adapt his playmaking style to different teammates. He's not a one-size-fits-all point guard. He understands the strengths and weaknesses of those around him, and tailors his game accordingly. With a high-flying athlete like DeAndre Jordan, he'll throw those alley-oop lobs that electrify the crowd. But with a sharpshooter like Peja Stojakovic back in his Hornets days, he'd patiently set up those catch-and-shoot opportunities. It's like he's a conductor leading an orchestra, bringing out the best in each individual instrument to create a harmonious masterpiece. And that's a rare and valuable skill, not just in basketball, but in any team-based endeavor. So as we continue to marvel at Chris Paul's assist records and his incredible longevity, let's not forget those intangible qualities that have made him such a special player. It's about leadership, adaptability, and a deep understanding of the game that allows him to bring out the best in those around him. And maybe, just maybe, those qualities will finally lead him to that championship ring that has eluded him for so long. But even if he doesn't win a title, his impact on the game is undeniable. He's changed the way point guards play, and his influence will be felt for generations to come. Now, to really understand Chris Paul, you have to go beyond the stats and look at the man himself. He's known for his intensity, his competitiveness, and his unwavering belief in himself. He's also a leader, a mentor, and a true student of the game. He's constantly studying film, working on his weaknesses, and finding ways to improve. And that dedication is a big reason why he's been able to stay at the top of his game for so long. But it's not just about basketball. Chris Paul is also a family man, a philanthropist, and a role model for young people all over the world. He uses his platform to speak out against injustice and inspire others to make a difference. And that's what makes him a true legend, both on and off the court. You know, as we've been breaking down Chris Paul's career, one thing that keeps coming back to me is his sheer determination. This is a guy who's faced setbacks, battled injuries, and yet he's never let anything derail his pursuit of excellence. It's truly inspiring. Think back to those early years in New Orleans. He was this young, undersized point guard, leading a team that had been devastated by Hurricane Katrina. The weight of the city was on his shoulders, and he not only carried it, he thrived. He brought hope and excitement back to New Orleans, showcasing his incredible talent and leadership on a national stage. And that resilience, that ability to rise above adversity, has been a constant throughout his career. He's had to reinvent himself, adapt his game, and overcome physical limitations. But through it all, that fire, that passion for the game, has never wavered. I think that's what makes him such a compelling figure. He's a reminder that greatness isn't just about raw talent. It's about the will to succeed, the dedication to your craft, and the unwavering belief in yourself. And those are qualities that resonate far beyond the basketball court. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the career of Chris Paul, left with a sense of awe and admiration. We've witnessed the evolution of a true legend, a player who's left an indelible mark on the game. From his record-breaking assist to his transformative impact on teammates, from his mastery of the pick and roll to his clutch performances in the playoffs, Chris Paul has consistently defied expectations and pushed the boundaries of what's possible. And as he enters the twilight of his career, I can't help but wonder what's next for the point guard. Will he finally capture that elusive championship ring? Will he continue to mentor young players and shape the future of the game? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, Chris Paul's legacy is secure. He's a future Hall of Famer, an icon, and an inspiration to anyone who dreams of achieving greatness. And as we've seen throughout this deep dive, his story is far from over. There's still magic left in those hands, and I, for one, can't wait to see what he does next.